Hi everybody, it's Donna here from Purple Pinky Promises. Welcome. Well, I had a request for layering stencils. So here it is. We are using the Pinkfresh Studio Magnolia Stamp. Well, we're not using the stamps. We're just going to use the stencils and dies. But I do show you a little comparison of what those stamps would look like in the same colors later on in this video. So we're going to just start out by stenciling. And I want to show you that what I was showing you here in just a moment ago was that I prefer to cut my paper the same size as the whole stencil itself. It makes it a little bit easier for me to line it all back up, but there are little tick marks if you want to cut your paper down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. They have provided tick marks. They also, up in that left corner, tell you stencil 1, stencil 2, stencil 3. I'm showing you that little tick mark right there. So that first layer, I have inked up in Tattered Rose Distress Oxide. All of the inks I'm using today are Oxides. And I'll tell you, these colors were actually inspired by a sweet little 2-year-old that came into church on Sunday with her little outfit. And I thought, oh my gosh, those colors are so adorable. I'm going to make my project in those colors this week. So that's why I went with the gray-green and that beautiful Tattered Rose color. Now, this is a little surprise. I want to show you, I think the thing that I'm going to show you in this video is how beautifully oxides layer and blend together. So this abandoned coral looks absolutely stunning over that Tattered Rose. I didn't go heavy with it. I went really light. And so this is the next big surprise. I wanted a darker, something darker that would actually emphasize the veins in these leaves. And I struggled with it. I picked up the Rustic Wilderness, and when I pulled that off, I thought, ugh, too bright. So guess what I did? Cleaned off my stencil and went back over it with iced spruce to tone it down. And folks, I went light because you can't take away when it's too dark. So I went light on that first run, and then I did it again, and it was the perfect blend. Yes, the beauty of Distress Oxides. Love them, love them, love them for the layering of stamps or stencils. So here I am doing it again to make it a little bit more subtle, but it turned out absolutely gorgeous, and I was really, really happy with it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about right there. Perfect. And I could have gone heavier, but I just don't know that it would have really given me that color that I was really looking for. So that's why I went ahead and toned it down with the iced spruce. Went with Rustic Wilderness and toned it down with iced spruce. Okay, here we are. We are using ground espresso for the center and twigs, center of our flower and the twigs. And voila. I love it. It's gorgeous. Now here I am giving you the side-by-side comparison. I will tell you that when I started to ink it up, my ink wasn't dry. And so it kind of smeared it a little. That's why you get a little bit of a difference in color. So I went back over and stamped it back over. You probably would want to do that with oxide. If you're going to ink over your stamped image with oxides, you're going to probably want to go back over it with your stamped image again. So leave it in that platform so that you can go back over it. I do prefer doing it in that process, stamping, inking, and whatnot. Okay, so I've shown you a few things. I've die cut my flowers and leaves. And right here, what I'm showing you is that you need to be careful with your stamps that are all one stamp set. Make sure you roll them off. Don't stretch them. It will affect whether or not they can be die cut properly. Okay, so now we're loading this up. And you can see here that I'm taking the platform to the stamp. I put my paper over the stamp, and I'm going to ink this up. Now let's back up a little bit while this is getting inked up. That die is from Catherine Pooler. It is so gorgeous. It's the Around the Loop die, and it just makes this project so stunning. And here, this is another stamp set from Catherine Pooler. This stamp set is called Diamonds Are Forever. It's a background stamp. And I put tape on it and on the back side, put it on that stamp, and then I took the platform to the stamp to line it up. Okay. And now here I have taken the center of that around the loop and I've stamped my sentiment so that it can fit right down inside there. Did you see what I just did? I can't even talk fast enough to keep up with this video. I took a baby wipe because I couldn't find any spray bottles around here at home to spray up my cardstock so that it would give it the paper the 3D effect. So I used a baby wipe and it worked perfectly. I used the Kirkland brand baby wipe. And it really does break up the fibers so that it really can give you a good impression. So here I am showing you both sides. Look at that. You can get a deboss and emboss, and it's gorgeous. And I had a hard time deciding which side. I went with this one. I decided this was the side I wanted. Not the side, but the other. Okay, so I cut that around the loop die 3 times, and I just layered it up to give it some dimension. And here I am layering it up. Man, catch a breath. That's an editing job or two. Now I can catch up here. Okay, so this, now I'm putting on my background, my embossed background, which I felt like was really cool because I felt like the stamped background and that embossed background kind of picked each other up. And here I am bringing this around the loop die over to the right because I wanted you to be able to see some of that texture in the background because it's going to get hidden with the sentiment. And I didn't want you to miss that. It's pretty cool, and just that subtle background along with a little bit of texture just gave it what it needed. And here I am giving this some layers. I thought this would be neat, tucked in behind the die, the frame, just to give it a little bit of interest. I thought, that's different. I could do that. So there we go. All right, so now we're going to get this on here, and then we're going to do an inlay with our sentiment. So I saved the inside piece so that, because you can't really stamp on that 3D background, and I wanted to do something inside that frame, but the embossing would make that difficult. And I just didn't feel like, I just felt like using that inside would put it to good use, and I could just layer my flowers around it. It gave me enough space to be able to do that. So here's a little tip. If you've got a lot of texture in your background and you're putting your sentiment over that texture, don't press hard into it. It will pick up that texture. So just lightly, just with a light hand, get it to attach, and you should be good. All right, now we're going to take our flowers and we're going to layer them up. So it took me a while to figure this out, but eventually I got this done. I didn't want to, so you can see there, I didn't want to cover up any of that texture that peeks through in the corner. So what I did was, I thought this got edited out, but I guess it didn't. So I take it out and play with it for a little bit. And I decide, no. I want it to go over here. What I'm trying to avoid is covering up all that texture. So I decide, yep, that's exactly what I want, right there. And I didn't want it to be bottom heavy, so I thought, that flower would be really pretty up at the top and the right to kind of give it some balance. So now here's my super professional way of putting everything down. I construct, deconstruct, and then reconstruct. I just pop that glue right underneath where it's supposed to be, and then I start reconstructing it. Yeah, need a closer look there. I love the softness of this card. It's clean, but yet it has a very soft vintage feel to it. I absolutely am very, very pleased with the way it turned out. You'll notice I didn't put any dimension underneath. I decided that I didn't want to do that. I don't know why. I just didn't. I felt like it sat on there just fine without it. So here I am tucking in those layers so that they look really nice, so that there are no gaps that look awkward. Yeah. So you see there, I turn that flower to where the frame is covered. I didn't want that frame showing. It just looked better to me. I don't know. It's just eyeing it and seeing what looks best. There's that. The lone little branch. There's a close-up. And I'm going to get it on the card front. And after I get it on the card front, I'm going to really quickly show you that I thought, oh, sequins. And then I decided, no sequins. So I wanted to show you what it looked like with sequins, so that if you are a sequin girl or gal or guy or whatever, you could put sequins on it if you wanted, but I took them off. I didn't want sequins on this. I felt like it took away from the beauty of it. So I left it as is, simple, but yet just soft and nice. And there it is. So thanks for stopping by and watching this video today. If you can, leave us a comment, leave us a like, subscribe, and you'll catch all of our projects. Thanks again, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week. Bye-bye.